I need to subscribe to some Snuff Film channels.
And that's how we'll start today's broadcast of OmniBros Live at noon. It's coffee and news with the OmniBros. It's me and damn it, Gabe.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought that was my name because that's all. That's always been how I've been referred to a lot, especially lately. It's always like, damn it, Gabe. Something. Stop talking about manga so much.
I've never said that.
I've
never said the damn it part.
Oh, you I'm sure it's been running through your head a few times.
No.
Yeah.
You like what you like.
I never thought something like that would trigger so many people. Suckers.
I don't know that it really has.
So make sure welcome everybody. We're on the Facebook group today, right? So welcome everybody to another OmniBros Live. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Manga Mondays. That's not true. That is not true. That was a joke that just ran its course.
I'd like everyone to notice my shirt, which is amazing.
I got an amazing shirt too, Jess.
What is it of?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I'm sure there's some people that love that. I don't even know what it is, but that's because I'm old.
That's because you don't have 60 more years in your life to watch the whole series.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. Those painkillers might just really be preservatives. And we get Jess for another 60 years. Yes.
So today we are going to talk. We got a lot of news.
It's cold. Breaking news. It's cold in Vegas.
Oh, it's warm here in Virginia. I'm in short sleeves. It's like 70 outside.
Wow. You just had a bunch of snow the other day too. You guys got some.
I know.
You got some temperamental weather.
Mid-Atlantic region is crazy. You get the Gulf Stream coming up from the south, and then you get the Canadian winds coming down from the north, and you never know what it's. Thank you, Johnny Rando. You never know what you're going to be getting weather-wise here.
I like this time of the year though. It's probably like 50, mid 50s, early 60s temperature-wise. I like this kind of weather.
I love that you think that's cold.
Well, when you live in 120-degree heat for the summertime, it's only honestly, it's not even that bad. It's only a couple of months that you get high heat, and it's not like a daily thing where it's 120. It'll be a couple times a month, but
yeah,
once you pass like 110, it might as well be 150. It all feels the same.
So one thing that's not the same as everything else, it's very different. That's InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always an OmniBros Live code every quarter where you can save even more. Order $50 or more in the United States, you get free shipping, fantastic customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
And that packaging is very green because it always gets reused.
I always reuse mine.
Yeah, don't throw away that packaging. Have you gotten a recent IST order?
I did this, a couple days ago.
Did it come in a different diamond box?
Oh, I'd have to look. I did save it, but I'd have to look.
You would have noticed. Diamond is, I think they're using different boxes now, and I don't like them.
Oh.
They're still sturdy and they're all that kind of fun stuff. It's just practically, you can't break them down. You know how you break down a box? You just cut the bottom tape and you break it down. You can't do that with these boxes. You literally have to rip them apart and destroy them. So it's completely.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it sucks.
Good morning, Lou.
Hey.
What up, brother?
Huh?
Good afternoon, I mean.
It's 12. Yeah. Well, it's morning for me. I just woke up probably about 3 hours ago. So
woke up, got out of bed, put an edible in my head.
Wow. Those are the good old days.
The good old days are here to stay.
That's some Joey Diaz type stuff. That guy said he drops like 300 milligrams of edibles just to get up in the morning.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Who's Joey Diaz?
He's a famous comedian.
Oh,
You've seen. I bet you if I showed you a picture of him, you know who he is, or you've seen him.
I think I've seen what you guys. We had a big comedy thing going in the OmniBros chat, and I think you guys put up a couple of his things. So
Yeah, I just listened to one of his podcasts recently because he had Andrew Dice Clay, who's the undisputed, still champion Mike Tyson style of comedy. Still,
I loved Dice when he first came out. He was on Crime Story. He was great.
Have you gone to any of his comedy shows before?
Dice?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
he was
man.
too big. I mean, he blew up, and there was 90,000 people in the Coliseum to see him. He just immediately blew up, and you couldn't get tickets.
Yeah, he was the only or first comedian to do the actual sports arena at the Forum.
Yeah.
Sell it out. That was all. Not all B, but it helped that he got banned from MTV. That really skyrocketed his star. For something that today is just meaningless and it's just so small and petty nowadays.
It
was groundbreaking at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, comedy changes. I mean, look at the stuff that Richard Pryor was saying back then. Even it's still hilarious, but back then, Richard Pryor, everything that he was saying was very whoa, did he really just say that? When today, you could look up almost any comedian and they're kind of saying the same thing. But Richard Pryor was just so far ahead of his time.
Just a good thing there was an internet in those days, man.
Oh God, yeah. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned Joey Diaz actually had Richard Pryor's widow. His widow on the podcast a few months ago. It's a great listen. If you're interested in it. She tells a bunch of amazing stories from Richard Pryor's past.
Yeah, when he set himself on fire, freebasing crack cocaine.
She talks about that. Yeah,
that's rough. Yeah.
Yeah, she talks about everything. The apparently that he slept with somebody famous that
Joey
he had.
Diaz?
No.
Johnny Ramone.
Huh?
Joey Ramone?
I forgot the name of the person, but it was a huge big thing a few months ago where it came out that Richard Pryor had slept with a guy. I forgot who it was. He was famous at the time.
He'd slept with a dude?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. She addresses
I didn't
all that.
hear that.
Was it JFK?
No.
Was it RFK?
I don't remember. That's gonna bother me. Marlon Brando. It was Brando. That's right. Yes. Thank you in the chat.
Richard
Johnny
Pryor slept with
They should
Marlon
have
Brando.
name off names, just random names to see what we could figure out.
Yeah. It was a big thing apparently. It came out.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know he hit from both sides of the plate. That's interesting.
Well, his wife addresses all that. His widow, I should say, and it's a great interview. She is an interesting person.
Oh, you'd have to be married to that man for so long, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, she tells it like it is, all the affairs and stuff like that that he would have, and she forgave him. She saw it as, hey, pussy's pussy. That's literally what it says in the interview, that she didn't mind him going around and sleeping with other women. That he always came back to her.
I'm gonna ask my wife if she feels that way.
Don't do it, Jess.
Don't do
You'd be minus an OmniBro in 1 second.
You'd be broadcasting live from the park bench that you're sleeping at,
or the hospital, or both. Well, actually, here's a good question that we actually do need to address. When do we get to see the Batman Damned live show?
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah,
we're working on it. I'm gonna throw up a pretend excuse. We're waiting for Geo internet to kind of get back to normal, because we would hate to have anybody drop out. And he's going through a lot of, it's not him, but Puerto Rico is shaking like crazy down there. So
Puerto Rico right now is a shit show.
Puerto Rico's getting shooken like a newborn baby.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm using my work laptop.
Gabe's shaking like a newborn baby. That's just awful.
I'm using my work laptop. I hope I'm coming in clear, or at least better than normal. So.
I hope your laptop doesn't narc you out to your work or something.
Nah, it'll be fine. No, finally died. So there's that. Starting
But
2020.
yeah, best wishes to Puerto Rico and Gio and everybody else down there. I lived in California. I grew up in California in earthquakes, and we've never had like 30 earthquakes at once. Like it seems like they got so many aftershocks going on. They're all like seismically fairly large, like 5s and above.
Yeah. Chat OmniDog, you need to get off that path that you're going down right now.
Uh-oh. I like how it's like Jesse yelling at himself.
Chat OmniDog is going down a very weird path.
I don't even have the comments up now. I want to see.
That's wow. I just saw it. Wow. I don't know. I think Omar would be a cuddler.
I'm not even going to address any of that.
Well,
God bless Richard Pryor, but I think men are icky.
We already know that Omar's a crier.
Let's move. Did we do the plug?
We did.
I think Lou would be a power bottom.
I'm so sorry I even mentioned Chat OmniDog now.
I'm talking about pushing back.
Oh,
Okay, let's address the news that we've got. We've got lots of news. Actually, I have a question for you, Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
The variant cover of Hoxpox hardcover, is that out of print?
Are we talking about the Mark Brooks one or?
Correct.
Oh, I can take a look.
Thank you.
I mean, don't wait for me. It takes a second for me to log in and whatnot.
We'll wait for you. I'll just show off my shirt more.
So what are we talking about today? We've got the
lots of news.
Yeah, there's quite a few things.
I'm gonna do this show like Bazooka Joe's friend.
Are we all in agreement that DC Comics has pretty much just given up? Like in solicitations that they just, I'm fully convinced there's a whiteboard in Dan Dio's office, and he just throws darts at it, and that's what gets solicited, and then he throws darts at it a month later, and that's what gets pulled.
Well, okay. Yes, the House of X Powers of X is completely out of stock right now. Completely, like it is. This symbol that they have on it, it just means that it's out of stock with no back order. So it's basically out of print.
Okay.
So
that's what I thought.
So find one if you can. Everybody, visit your local comic book store, support small local business, see if they have that awesome Mark Brooks cover. But that is gone from Diamond. Stores will not be able to order anymore.
Wow.
Thank God I ordered a couple more for the store recently. So
here's a question for you on glue that you sniff, Gabe.
I love sniffing dead horses.
Is there a stronger glue?
Is there a stronger glue?
To use for fixing books. That archival glue is kind of weak.
Really? Because this glue that I use...
Let me highlight you.
This is what I use, and I've had zero problems with this. This stuff is held strong. So...
I got to watch your video because I need to fix that Miles Morales one.
Yeah, which is the exact same book I use in the video to fix.
Everybody
you just scored it in the. Oh, I'll watch your video.
Yeah, just don't squirt it in there. Jess, this isn't a first date.
Wow.
Oh boy. So let's talk about. Okay, we talked about Hoxpox. I think that the Hawkeye news is pretty important, and so is the Doctor Strange news.
I didn't hear the Hawkeye news. The Doctor Strange news was interesting.
The director left the film due to creative differences?
That's what they're saying. Yeah, Scott Derrickson, the director of the first Doctor Strange, left the film over creative differences. There's been a lot of stuff floating around online and things like that. A lot of speculation. There was even... I think if you look up, there's a Comic-Con video where Derrickson was like on a panel or something, and he even said, "Yeah, it's going to be the first horror MCU film." And then Feige kind of interrupted, and he said, "Well, you know, yeah, it's not going to be too scary, but yeah." And I'm like, oh, there's a lot of speculation online. Basically, everybody's saying that the reason it was he left the project was because he wanted to push it more into a horror direction.
Oh.
And Disney Marvel said, nope, not gonna happen.
You don't need it because you got New Mutants as a horror movie.
Well, yeah, New Mutants is a horror movie, but is it even considered MCU canon right now, or is it just?
There was something on the page this morning. Right.
Yes. They're saying now that it is going to be part of the MCU.
Okay,
which is interesting.
That is interesting because that would make it the first X-Men film in the MCU and how they're going to tie it in. And the director of New Mutants has said that no, there were no reshoots. This is my cut of the film. Yay! I can't wait for the release. Whatever stupid cut is going to fly online. But he said no, there's no other cut of the film. This is my vision. They didn't do any editing. Whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, this seems like another Edgar Wright. It seems like you've got a director that they've got a vision for something, and it just doesn't fit with what Disney or Marvel wants.
Edgar Wright, the guy that did Frankenstein, the rock musician.
No. Edgar Wright did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, whole bunch of great movies. I don't think the guy's had a miss yet for me. But yeah, this is all speculation. Everybody's freaking out online. A lot of horror fans are like, wow, this is kind of bullshit because Scott Derrickson is really well loved and respected in the horror fan community. And it kind of sucks. It really does.
I'm not concerned. This happens all the time when directors leave projects and things like that. But it always seems to never really be that big of an ordeal. Like you said, Edgar Wright leaving Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
What significant damage did that cause to that film franchise? I would say probably zero.
I mixed him up with Edgar Winters and Johnny Winters. Brothers.
The guy from Bill and Ted?
No, the Winters brothers. They were rock musicians in the 70s. And they were the guys that filed the lawsuit against Preacher for having the Autumn brothers in there as twin albinos.
Yeah, Bill and Ted, right? Bill S. Preston Esquire. That's him, right?
Oh, I've only seen that movie once, so I don't have a solid memory.
Oh, that was past the prime.
No, I saw it back in the...
I love the first Bill and Ted movie. That's such a great movie.
I like the ones where they beat death in all those games like Twister and stuff. That was great.
Oh yeah, he's like best 15 out of 80 or whatever.
Changing the rules because they keep beating him.
But yeah, either way, I mean, back on topic. I don't care that a director leaves a project or when anybody leaves a project. It's especially one that hasn't really taken off yet. Like, it's not in production. Like if it was in the middle of production, like Josh Trank style, then that's when you get worried that the quality is going to suffer. So whatever comes out of this, I think Disney and Marvel, they have obviously a formula and a template that they know is going to work. And you're hired to do a job. And if there's a conflict and you don't want to do things your way and they don't want to do things your way and you don't do things their way, then you part ways and life moves on, and we'll probably get something. Maybe could it be better? You never know. There's a different dimension out there where he gets to make his Doctor Strange film.
Well, the thing, these films are made by a committee. Like let's not beat around. They are a committee. They are Marvel and Disney gets the final say of your little superhero movie, and if it doesn't fit their vision, they'll show you the door. They've done it They've done it a few times now, and that's okay. My concern is also with Blade. Because if they don't want to do a horror movie, Blade is very steeply rooted in horror. How are they going to do a Blade film when they just trotted out Mahershala Ali last year? And they're going to have to water it down. And the problem is that we've had two good Blade films, and the third one, less we say about that, the better.
The third one's the best one. What are you talking about? Dude, that watching that movie and seeing Ryan Reynolds, that's when I saw it. I go, that guy would be an awesome Deadpool. And look what happened.
That movie is terrible. The first two are great, and they're great horror films. But it has me really concerned as far as like, well, they're going to obviously have to water down Blade and all this other stuff. And, I don't know. I've been kind of the dissenting opinion on a few of these films now, and how my feelings are that I'm kind of starting to get tired of the Marvel Disney formula. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not as excited for the lineup that they have as I was for, like, say, the first like phase of films, like the first characters. And I was really looking forward to this Doctor Strange movie. Now we'll see what happens. I mean, they've got a bunch of choices. There are great horror directors. I would love Lee Whannell to take this on. The guy that did Upgrade. I think he'd be fucking great at doing a Doctor Strange film. I loved Upgrade, and I think he's a perfect fit.
I'm gonna go with the side of and more of a positive outlook on this. Is I don't think that Marvel and Disney's afraid to make a horror film. It's just that they don't want to make whatever possible weird horror film concept that this guy might have been kind trying to push. Who knows? We don't know the details.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been anything else. It could have been it's creative differences, which is really just slang for we hate each other and we just back off. It could have been a casting choice. It could have been, anything else that really comes across where they don't want to reveal details. Like I said, when a person on the creative team leaves, it's never that big of a deal. Like, look at homeboy that did Deadpool, Miller. I forget his first name. The director of the first Deadpool film, who bowed out because of creative differences for Deadpool 2, which I think might have came out was a casting choice or a direction for the humor, or who knows. But that's probably what's coming across with Doctor Strange. Is maybe they still want to make it a horror film, I would think, if that's their idea. But maybe they just don't want to maybe he had too strong of a vision or too experimental of a vision that they didn't want to go with. So I don't think that's going to affect Blade, because I think you could do horror with Blade easier, because horror and Doctor Strange, I really maybe like paranoia horror, but not like, which is way different than like vampire monster horror that you would get with Blade. So who knows? But we'll see what comes across with this. I'm going to stay positive until we actually get something that comes out of it. We're all speculating on ground-based foundation of this film that hasn't even started yet. So
I would love to see Mike Flanagan take
Tim Miller. Thank you, Puff Puff Comics Chat.
Tim Miller is a great director. Yeah, I would love Mike Flanagan, who did A Haunting on Hill House. He did Doctor Sleep, which I know you weren't crazy about, Gabe. I still haven't seen it, so I can't really judge it.
So I need somebody else to see that, so that you can tell me that I'm either crazy for not liking it, or that I'm right for not liking it.
Did you like it
too?
Did you like The Shining?
I love The Shining. The Shining is one of the great the movie, the TV movie was kind of okay, and the book. I've read the book. That was one of the first Stephen King books I read as a middle school. I'm gonna say it was probably middle school era. I read it. Yeah.
So I think if they really want to hit this out of the park and he would be the guy that I would bring in, Mike Flanagan. I love his stuff.
Well, what's the TV show he does? Not TV show, but Netflix series.
Haunting on Hill House. Brilliant.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely brilliant show. Jess, you need to watch that.
I know. It's on my list.
It's incredible.
It's getting seen this year with Jenny.
Episode, I think it's either 4 or 5, where there's a big reveal, and it's one of the most brilliant reveals I've ever seen on TV. It's such a good piece of writing that I just look at it and go, God damn it, because I don't think I'll ever write something as good as that.
Forgerelli got the right idea about Blade 3. It was all about Jessica Biel. Man, she was so hot in that film. There was even a shower scene. Jessica Biel shower scene. Blade 3. Blade's hardly even in the movie, because I think that's when homeboy, I forget the actor's name off the top of my head right now, was kind of being a prima donna and not showing up in shoots.
Yeah,
Wesley Snipes. There you go.
Oh. Yeah, Patton Oswalt tells a great story of being on set with Wesley Snipes and how Wesley Snipes would show up blasted, and it was a pain in the ass to get him out of his trailer to do scenes and stuff. Yeah. He was a pain in the ass apparently on set.
Well, that leads us to our next story, which is breaking news.
Breaking news, everybody.
Hey.
Hawkeye on Disney Plus. What's the story, Morning Glory?
Which one of us is Morning Glory?
What?
Which one of us is Morning Glory? Who are you
Well,
talking to?
Lou doesn't know the news, so you, Gabe.
Okay, let me bring up the
Gabe.
article real quick. So this is on our Facebook group. So shout out to everybody in the Omnibus Collectors group. Marvel Studios Hawkeye, the series is delayed indefinitely. From the title of the article. I haven't read it yet, so sorry for being just the headline reader, reactor type of person. But yeah, according to the article that is posted on our Facebook group, it is indefinitely on hold and has been removed from the studio's 2020 production schedule. So, really not much more to say than that. It's just, this is all breaking news information that Hawkeye is not happening, which is too bad because a lot of people were super excited to see Kate Bishop get her own series and kind of come into the foreground of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this is the first Disney Plus series to come out with any kind of production hiccups and delay. So it's hopefully this doesn't become a trend and they get like DC comic style and start just canceling everything. So
Taylor Brown's using an in-joke word that we're going to try and work into every OmniDog show ever. Somebody criticized one of my videos because I didn't understand the leitmotifs that were being used in the book. And I was like, okay, you're right.
That Kate Bishop stuff was the least interesting stuff about that run for me. The Fraction run.
Oh.
Yeah, the Fraction stuff. I just did not
care. The solo series was ace.
Was it? I haven't read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never read Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, so I have no idea what's going on or no attachment to the character storylines.
Yeah. I couldn't stand her in that book. I found her to be so annoying.
I think you're a woman hater.
I am not. I don't like Matt Fraction's writing in general.
I don't think you like him and his family.
That is not true.
I'm sure. I don't think Lou has any problems with the Fraction's kids. Come on.
I don't know. He's starting to work his way down the list.
So
I would never admit that publicly.
In the chat, real quick, I posted the CBR article about the Hawkeye, so everybody gets a chance to kind of read it for themselves. So we kind of put that information in there for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, this is what you get. You've got Disney trotting out a bunch of people on stage and going, "This is our lineup," and sometimes things happen, delays happen, and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm excited. The only thing I'm really looking forward to right now is I'm looking forward to the Winter Soldier show. I'm really curious.
She-Hulk show.
Yeah, She-Hulk. I'm wondering if they'll do a lawyer type, like a procedural show. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Like a Law and Order kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like a Dan Slott's run is like that.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I'm not going to get worked up over something that hasn't really started.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's too bad. I mean, I would look forward to anything Disney Plus. I'm looking forward to all that Marvel stuff because that is basically, it seems like, well, it's almost obvious. Marvel's kind of taking a break from actual releasing movies in theaters and instead moving it towards, this next phase is all going to be Disney Plus stuff. So
that's what it seems like. They're investing money in Disney Plus. I mean, a bunch of people canceled after Mandalorian. I know a lot of people.
Ignorant. Yeah, go ahead and cancel. Go ahead and cancel your subscription. I'm still binge watching Guardians, or not Guardians. I'm sorry, Gargoyles. Yeah.
I mean, this happens all the time. Every time there's a Stranger Things, people sign up and then they cancel. This isn't anything new.
I mean, I did that a lot with HBO when Game of Thrones was first going on.
Mm-hmm. I did too. Yeah, I did too.
I think I still have a subscription to Stars for American Gods, which has a second season that I haven't even thought of until right now. And I loved the first season so much, but I've just forgotten about it.
Yeah, I heard the second season's not that good, but that's not surprising considering the showrunner got booted or fired or whatever. There was a lot of controversy involving Orlando Jones a few weeks ago with that.
With American Gods?
Yeah, because Orlando Jones, he plays Anansi. Yeah, he plays a Nancy, and I forgot what the exact. I'm not. You know what? I don't even really want to address it because it involves race, and he was really pissed off because apparently they wanted to tone down his character in terms of being angry or something along those lines.
Huh. But
He was
the
really mad. So I really don't want to mix up his words though. What's going on with DC Comics, Jess?
You're asking me? I don't know. They're what's the latest news? We have a news bit on them about something, right?
Okay, and then the further struggles of DC Comics solicitation. Anybody want to address this? I firmly, I don't think they give a shit anymore.
I mean, I'll read. I just read the article like earlier this morning, and I don't see anything really that damaging, honestly. Let me bring it up. I'll put it in the chat. I didn't do this so we could put it actually into the description and whatnot so people can read this. So Bleeding Cool has an article that came up. I know some people don't like Bleeding Cool, but honestly, I think they do some pretty good articles outside of all the speculation nonsense that sometimes gets out of control. Okay, so the article is called "Why DC Comics Has Been Canceling So Many Collections and Taking Numbers Off the Spine."
Because they hate us.
Well, they got some real. I think I'll read the article, and some of the things that Dan DiDio mentions in here, I've been talking about for a while. So I kind of see eye to eye with him on some of this stuff. So, recently, Dan DiDio did I don't know if it was a Facebook video or whatever, but he did a video for retailers, and a lot of stuff has come out of that short talk that he did. One of it is his reaction to all the cancellations that DC's been doing on collected editions, omnibuses, all that stuff that we've talked about on the show at nauseum, because it's a lot of cancellations that's happened over the last year plus. So the article reads, DC Comics has traditionally ruled the roast at the bookstore, a reputation for a strong relationship with the bookseller market, with perennials like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, Sandman, Preacher, Killing Joke, Long Halloween, Hush, All-Star Batman, and many more, making for constant bestsellers. 100% true. DC has a lot of evergreen titles, and those are some of the top-notch ones that are always available. But as of late, there appears to have been quite a lot of cancellation of solicited collections by DC Comics. Absolutely true again. Some have been repackaged in other forms. I think they mean formats. Others have not. Today, addressing comic book retailers on Facebook, DC publisher Dan DiDio talked about a number of matters, including this discussion process. He says, "We had a very poor 2018 with our collections. It forced us to reevaluate what we were collecting and how. So you saw a lot of changes taking place. If you saw the cancellations that occurred after solicitation, this is important to hear, that's probably because there was no appreciable interest for these titles."
Wow.
Meaning that we couldn't hit the minimum number to justify print.
Do tell.
We've talked about this a lot. I know I have, because
Man of Steel. Bullshit.
Really? Man of Steel. John Byrne omnibus.
yeah, and he continues on with, "I'd much prefer just to cancel books than to have devalued product out there. We have to find ways to make our collected editions valuable so that people want to purchase them and put them on a shelf. We also have to reevaluate these collections of 6 issues and out. When you collect 6 issues of a periodical, regardless of its complete story, you're going to see more tweaking going forward. But I feel like we're in a very good place." So that's the first big quote that comes out of this article. And a lot of this to me is making sense. They're continuing to evaluate the collected edition market. They're continuing to evaluate what they are able to justify for print, which is a huge thing here. They say that they are not meeting the minimum amount of orders to justify print, and they do not want to have devalued product out there. Okay, so that's very important for all of us. And again, this does fall into the idea of these books going out for super duper discounts when they start clearing housing, these kinds of things, and nobody wants that to happen. So going forward, the Bleeding Cool article says there certainly has been some tweaking going on with the looks of certain titles, often midway through a run. When asked if DC could provide alternate dust jackets following design changes in a collected edition series, he dismissed that suggestion, saying, "It's time to move on. Every change we make to the visual interpretation of our packaging is to excite people and get more people excited about the books themselves." And then it continues with, as for whether retailers can help a collected edition pass the minimum threshold for print if they know there might be an issue in advance. Then the deal says, we're not canceling because it's a couple of copies off the number. So this is important here. They're not canceling because it's not, we're 10 orders short of the minimum amount. He says, we're canceling because it's thousands of copies off. If we cannot get 2/3 of that minimum number, then it does not justify publication. And the article continues, as for collections losing volume numbers on their spine, indicating that they're part of a series and where they are placed within it, there's another thing that we've talked about. Dan DeDeal says, we're finding diminishing returns on the books with numbering on spines. They take the same periodical cadence that comes with our regular books. Every subsequent number drops. The longer those numbers run, the lower and lower those print runs become. Also, I want to make sure we're clear about what's in that book. That's why the title's more important. It's like I'd like someone to pick it up for the reading experience rather than the straight numbering. And that's the end of that article and the quotes there. But this is stuff that we've talked about before. I know I've said many, many, many times, it's really hard to sell a volume 3 if there's no volume 1. People just want number 1s, and they don't continue on with number 2s and number 3s and number 4s, even though number 2, volume 2 of a book, volume 3 of a book, volume 4 of a book is still, for the most part, a complete story. I try to explain to people in the store that these are very much like TV seasons. You can watch season 4 of The Simpsons without having to watch season 1, 2, and 3. Same with comic books a lot of times. But that number scares people away because they feel that they are missing out if they don't have 1, 2, and 3 before they get number 4. Okay. So that's what he is saying here. I hope that makes sense and it's clear. I think that's exactly what he's saying here. So what I've gathered from this article is, one, they're not these books, John Byrne's Superman, Fables Absolute, all these books that everybody is clamoring for and saying that they want is not enough for DC to justify publication, because they are thousands of copies off from a justifiable print run. We don't know how much that number is. Is it 4,000? Is that a justifiable? Is that the threshold number? Let's say it is 4,000. So if they're thousands of copies off and they're not hitting 2/3 of that, that means they're getting orders of about 1,000, and they can't print 4,000 if they can only guarantee about 1,000 sales. So I think that this is going to turn into another thing that has been kind of a panic that's happened on the group, where these books are going to start getting lower and lower print runs and start selling out quicker and quicker and quicker.
So, I've got a question, Gabe, because you're in the retail, you know this stuff. Do these books ever sell thousands and thousands of units?
That's really hard to say because, damn it,
Right.
stupid thing won't even. Damn, I'm sorry. I was trying to put the link to the article in the chat, and it's like 1 million characters long, so it won't take it.
I don't want to run my mouth off without actually.
Yeah.
Shocking. I know.
I'm not sure where they're seeing these order numbers coming from. Is it just retailers? Is it from Amazon? Is it from other bookstores like Barnes and Noble, or whatnot? But I don't think these things can sell thousands and thousands unless they end up super discounting them and blowing them out.
Right.
And nobody wants, no company that's in the publishing business or any business wants to sell their product at a super discounted amount, because all that does is damage the value of that product. So It's hard for them to, I don't, even through like Amazon, they're obviously not able to sell these thousands and thousands of copies. So,
but at the same time, they're making, okay, I'm going to choose my words carefully. They're making poor choices in solicitations, such as even trying to solicit an Absolute Fables. Nobody is going to buy an Absolute Fables. I could have told you that from the beginning, especially when the confidence in your product is eroding from your fans over the last few months, over the last year. That's what happens. You cannot depend over the last year on DC Comics and their solicitations because it's been so unreliable. So you've got a market that is completely not trustworthy of your product because you keep canceling on it, and then you complain because there's not enough order numbers and pre-orders and stuff like that. Why would I order stuff from from DC Comics as a whole when I don't even trust you that you're going to get it out the door?
Right, and I think that kind of goes back to another discussion and topic that we've touched on a lot. Is it seems like they are not, or that they are flooding the market with the same book in every different format available, and people don't need that. We don't want a absolute omnibus Fables when we have the hardcovers out. We don't want
why the Last Man omnibus? Why?
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. Why the Last Man omnibus? We don't need that. We have three. We have the hardcovers and we have the absolutes. Don't go back and now do another format, because it's the law of diminishing returns. The more effort you put into this stuff, the less you're going to get out of it as you try to strive in every format available. And that's where they're being slapped in the face by this. 100%. They're realizing that that's what's going on.
It's honestly shocking, and I think it lends credence to what I've been saying for a while, that these guys are going digital. A lot of these guys are going the digital route, and it's just easier for them. It really is, because you just put the file on your website or on Comixology or something like that. You collect the 6 issues, you can bundle it different ways, and you don't have to worry about the publisher. I mean, the publishing these things, and you don't have to worry about the quality of them. You don't have to worry about getting them out in the wild. And if you have to do a retraction on a certain page like they've done before, that's perfectly fine. They can pull the file off of the internet and bam, it's retracted. Yes, it's always online, but it's easier for them. And I'm kind of wondering if this is where their head is at going forward, that they're full steam ahead mostly on digital right now. Even though Jim Lee, I think he even said that digital isn't doing what they thought they would do. But
that could definitely be a factor, for sure. Yeah.
But the industry as a whole is down right now. Look, I know there's people in the chat that don't like it when we bring up the M word.
Hey Lou, real quick, man. I don't want to break into what you're saying, but you're breaking up really bad.
Oh, jeez. Can you hear me?
You're the one that's breaking up, Gabe.
Yeah, you're looking really ugly right now on this.
Yeah, you should sign out and sign back in. You're the one that's actually freezing up.
I am?
Yeah.
Okay, well, give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
No, you're good, man. I don't I don't want to bring up the M word because I know a lot of people get angry when I do bring it up.
Wait, let me guess what it is. Marvel?
No. It's the other.
Morticia from the Addams Family.
No, although I've always had a crush on her.
I know. Mortal Enemy? No. Manga?
That's yes. That's I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. But they really need to start taking a look at what manga is doing. They really do, because there's a reason why everybody in my school is reading, at the school that I work with, is interested in Naruto, is interested in My Hero Academia. It's because it's easy to get into, it's readily available online, and it's cheap. It's really cheap. And I don't know. I think that we've talked about this. It's going digital. It's going digital, and the way that TKO is doing things, I think, is the future of how comics are going to be handled. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. What do you think, Jess?
I agree with that. I think the TKO model is a brilliant model, and I love it. I love the format of TKO. I don't read manga, so I can't speak to that. But I mean, you've always said how popular it is with your kids, so I'm going to have to take that at face value. I don't. They would certainly piss off an awful lot of. Well, they'd piss off every retailer if they went all digital. I mean, that would be the end of retailer stores. So I don't know that they could afford to do that. Just off the top of my head.
Well, you will always have specialty retailers like Torpedo Comics, where Gabe works at, where they will have the collected editions, but that'll be 6 months down the line. And the monthly grind, I just don't think is going to keep happening. And I think that the specialty shops like Torpedo, that they have Magic the Gathering night, they have Warhammer night, they have board game night, they have different things that interest people. Those will stay open. The unfortunate casualty of all this will be the mom and pop shops, the small guys that they cater to a very small audience. And I think that the future is very uncertain for those guys.
Okay. You make a good point. Let's see. We have some other news, but I kind of want to wait till Gabe gets back on.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. It's poor choices. Just poor choices all around from DC that I wish. Yeah.
Well, I know they're not. Well, they're basing it on releasing Deathstroke and Red Hood as Omnis. If that's what they're basing it on, then that's just not the right thing to base it on. They should base it on how well the Snyder New 52 run sells, or putting out something that people actually want. Nobody's asking for those Red Hood and Deathstroke Omnis.
Right. Why do we only have, I think it's like 2 absolutes of Snyder's run collected? If I was DC Comics, that thing would have been out a long time ago. You would have all the Joker stuff in absolute format before the omnibus would have came out. That would have been a top priority of mine if I was at DC Comics. Let's get these absolutes out from Snyder's collected edition. He's a big name. It was at the height of when he was a big name. His name still carries weight, but it's not like New 52 Batman Snyder that just came hot off the gate from doing American Vampire and is crushing it every month with Capullo hot. Like it's in wrestling terms, he had so much heat on him, and that's cooled off. And it's just they missed so many opportunities, man.
Okay, yeah. I'm back. I hope this works out better.
Okay.
Okay, so catch me up. Where are we at?
We're ready to move on to the next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're done talking about collected editions at DC and how they're changing. All right. I think they're doing it for the best. I mean, I agree with everything Dan DiDio said, especially like the removing of the numbers off the spine. I think they just call it like the name of the series, like with Aquaman and the Kelly Sue DeConnick stuff. that's going to sell better. If Batman Hush was like volume 406, it wouldn't sell. But it's Batman Hush, so it sells better that way.
But then, Gabe, you've also got. So what about the situation involving, again, I know we're bringing up manga. Somebody's gonna be pissed off in the comment section.
Now,
What about the situation of like One Piece, where you've got One Piece that's 86 volumes, but it's still selling like hotcakes, and you still have people buying new volumes every single month?
Because it's a continual story.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Where with DC, Marvel, superhero style comics, it's not really it's a continual story in the loosest sense of the term, but they are made to be broken up into those 6-story arcs, or those 6-issue kind of arcs. If it was old school, like how Chris Claremont style comics were, where every book was every single issue was a story, but also had a B plot that led off into another story, that would work better because you would have to read volume 1 to understand volume 5. Same with One Piece. I mean, sure, you could probably jump into One Piece in volume 50 and still be all right, but there's a continual beginning and end and middle of these stories.
okay.
So yeah, it's not DC's fault. Honestly, I just want to say this before you move on. I'm sorry. It's not DC's fault. It is us as buyers. It is our buying habits that are making them change this stuff up to sync up with our buying habits. We're not buying things the way you think we're buying things. We are not buying certain stuff, and DC is fixing things, if that makes sense. So,
but shouldn't DC as a whole do at least a little bit of market research? If they did even a little bit of it, they could have realized nobody's going to buy an Absolute Fables, or nobody's going to buy a Why the Last Man omnibus, other than Riley, of course, because I don't know why he has to have it.
He's the omnibus collector.
True.
I think some of that stuff, and again, this is purely speculation. I mean, I'm not even going to bring it up to Jim Lee when I see him. Name dropping. I think it's just they might just still be in that mentality, from their earlier mentality of let's just print everything and just solicit everything that we can, and let's do every version that we can of this successful selling series. Like Batman Hush, for instance. Batman Hush has trades. They have a new trade that just came out. They have an Absolute. Coincidentally, that omnibus got canceled. So I think they were just trying to just see what sticks. And honestly, them making a solicitation cost them very little money. It's not like, we were already in the process of making this book. It's in the printing process, and now we have to cancel it. It never went to print. There was no money put into it. So that's their market research, is basically the putting out a solicitation and see what becomes popular.
But it does sacrifice the trust of the people that buy this stuff. You're doing so at the cost of the people trying to buy this.
It's true. I mean, it's hard because how do you do market research on this? What do you do? Do you ask people? And it's with any poll or any survey. You send it, like if we were to do a poll, like look at this for instance. Let's take a look at our YouTube channel. We have less than 4,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But the Facebook group has for climbing up to almost 5,000 subscribers.
Yep.
And even the 3,000 subscribers we have, they don't all watch the episodes. Our views are 1,500, which is we're happy and satisfied with that. But not everybody that buys a book is going to participate in the survey. So it's really hard to do these market researches. I want to know what kind of research we think that could be done to make this happen. You can't trust the Facebook groups. I mean, everybody wants a reprint, and then the reprint comes out, and then nobody buys it. And then a year and a half later, when it goes out of print, everybody loses their shit over it. So it's very untrustworthy, the customer base. And AT&T, I think AT&T has nothing to do with it. It is all about profits, but this would be the same idea whether DC was owned by AT&T, Verizon, McDonald's, or OmniBros Live. It's all about the bottom dollar, no matter who owns that company.
All right, what else we got?
Castlevania season 3 is hitting Netflix.
Oh,
Hey.
my nipples just perked up.
Oh, dude, I need to change my pants.
Oh God, the first two
You need to
seasons.
stand up.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand up without my Trapper Keeper in front of me.
Oh God. The first two seasons are so good, Gabe. They're so good. And
Dude, the first
I saw 'em
season,
too.
I remember when the first season hit, and it was like, what was it, like 4 episodes long? And it ended at the most cliffhangery blue ball situation ever.
Yeah,
Warren-
Castlevania was great, but that
Ellis-
was a deadly cliffhanger.
I can't believe Warren Ellis is a writer on this TV show. Oh my God.
And that
He's
was
not a writer. I think he is the writer. He does. It's all on him. Excuse
Oh
me.
man. I'm hoping that he's on Devil May Cry whenever they do Devil May Cry for Netflix.
Geo doesn't have an internet connection to Collector because of all the earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah, poor guy.
He has electricity but no internet connection right now.
Yeah.
And even his electricity is a little flaky. It's. I think he said something like Puerto Rico has like an emergency thing where if there's an earthquake, the power just shuts off.
Yeah, to save something. So you explained it.
Yeah, I'm sure to prevent like fires or explosions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Castlevania, we're excited for that.
Oh, I can't wait. I love the animation, the fight scenes, the animation, the story.
The story's great.
Yeah. I hope everybody's seen it. If not, definitely go on Netflix and check out that Castlevania. You don't even need to be like a fan of the video game or have any like Belmont knowledge or anything like that.
No.
You can just go in and let it go.
Alucard.
Snake Eyes. The Snake Eyes movie for G.I. Joe is slated to happen and to reboot the franchise.
Is it? Do you mean it's slated to start production?
Both, yeah. It's ready to start happening,
Uh-huh.
and it is their spark to try and reinvigorate. I'm sure the franchise, the license, and the film. So,
I mean, cross it over with Fast and Furious and Transformers. Just make one giant, huge universe out of all that stuff.
I hope if they said, Gabe, what do you want from a Snake Eyes movie? I would say Jessica Biel shower scenes. And I would say go just do what you guys did, bringing up Warren Ellis again and his G.I. Joe Resolute with that Snake Eyes storyline.
Oh my God, that was so good.
And that Snake Eyes fight with Storm Shadow. Again, if you guys haven't seen G.I. Joe Resolute, you need to, once this is over, go find that on YouTube. It is the greatest G.I. Joe stuff ever.
Have you ever seen that, Jess?
No.
You're missing out.
So good. It's so good. I can't believe Warren Ellis wrote, what was it, like a 6-episode miniseries of G.I. Joe?
I didn't even know that.
For Adult Swim. He wrote it, and it's incredible.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I can see it on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find most of it
I'm
on
pretty
YouTube.
sure, or somewhere. I think I have a link here. Let me see if this works.
I'd watch it for
I'll send it to you, Jess.
that Ellis wrote.
All right. Yep, this is it. It's only an hour long because they were like 15-minute shorts or something like that, but this is the whole thing altogether.
Oh, on YouTube?
It's on Daily Motion, which is for porn.
That's the dark web, man. I can't go there.
Speaking of the dark web, have you guys watched that Netflix series, Don't Fuck with Cats?
No.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, and I'm in the middle of it now, so don't tell me anything about it. Man, that is messed up stuff.
Yeah. I want to see it.
Super interesting. God, so cool.
I could have done without some of the animal stuff they show though.
Yeah,
just
I'm not gonna watch it. Let's move on. Any
What else
other
we got?
news?
Let's see. So we talked about Hawkeye. We talked about Doctor Strange. We talked about Snake Eyes reboot and everything. Talked about Castlevania. Talked about DC Comics solicitations. I think that we talked about the House of X, Powers of X variant cover is now out of print. So panic time. I think that's all of our topics for today.
That's what I wanted to bring up. I just remembered. If you guys want to get into G.I. Joe, there's a great miniseries called G.I. Joe Cobra: The Last Laugh. It stars Chuckles. That's his code name. Mm-hmm. And he's working undercover in Cobra, and it's incredibly well written.
I have the book, but I've never opened it.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I haven't read much G.I. Joe, but I've read that, and it's such a fucking great story.
I can tell you that I've read zero G.I. Joe. But I bought that because I probably bought that thing like 5 years ago because people were just going on and on and on about it.
Yeah, he is undercover in Cobra, and it's badass.
Yeah, there's a nice hardcover for it. Is what I got. It's a really nice hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
The Morbius trailer is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, did you see the first look, the leaked image of Jared Leto as Mobius?
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks good.
Looks good.
I like the Birds of Prey trailer a lot more than the first trailer.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Oh, it is so much better. It looks like a real movie that actually has a real story with real characters. I don't know what that first trailer was, but this second trailer has me amped to see the movie, whereas that first trailer, I was like, I guess I'll see it because Harley's in it, but I'm not very excited. But this second trailer, I don't know. It must have been put together by somebody completely different because they picked all the really cool scenes, and it looks really good.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't care about trailers. I'm done. I saw the first trailer, and that's it.
Yeah,
I'll watch the movie. Yeah. I'm in. I'll support the movie, but I'm not going to go looking for trailers anymore.
I'm kind of.
But they're saying that that they mentioned Spider-Man, so there might be some kind of connection to
Morbius.
MCU. Yeah, in Morbius, they're going to mention Spider-Man apparently.
Oh God!
So maybe we'll get a Spider-Man, Venom, Morbius crossover. Who knows?
I mean, Mobius would be a great way to introduce Blade.
True, the vampire aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. If they're going to bring that aspect into it, you might as well throw Blade in there.
This seems like a good time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add an extra 2% to that. There's always another way to save money when we give out an OmniBros code every quarter. If you're in the United States and you order $50 worth of books or more, your shipping is free. That's amazing because it's easy to hit $50. I can promise you that. Fantastic customer service, fantastic packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
I don't believe it, Jess.
Free shipping?
Yes.
It's amazing.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's such an extra benefit. You get so much. You get a free box, and you get free packaging that you can reuse.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
By $100 or more, you get a nice handshake from Jess if you ever see him in person.
Right on, man.
Or a stiff high five.
Yeah, that the new printing of Death Superman, I think, is either out of stock or out of print right now too.
Already?
Yeah.
Already.
They're printing less and less. They're probably doing that. They're printing less and less.
They have to. Like they said, they can't get enough orders to warrant the publication of these books.
Yep.
Do you want to stick around for 5 minutes for questions from the chat, or?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Chat is open. The panel's open to taking questions if you have any. Of course, whenever I say that, it's like crickets in the room. They ask questions throughout the chat, and then I say, okay, let's talk about questions, and nobody has any.
So the Desert Suit Man is out of stock through Diamond right now, which means they're waiting to get more from DC if available. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like the Mars Volta. That's by the guys that did At the Drive. Some of the guys from At the Drive-In, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love At the Drive-In. So yeah, I like Mars Volta.
At the Drive-In was so good back in the heyday.
Oh, One Arm Scissors, one of the best songs ever.
Oh, it's an incredible. The album that song is on is incredible as well.
Yeah. L. Denver says the chat has performance anxiety.
It happens.
Taylor Brown, what's the meaning of life? You tell me.
47, right?
Well,
people don't like it when we talk about bad about DC, Jess. Even though
it brings them down because
even though it's the truth.
I know. Well, I can see why it depresses me to talk about it. Oh, here's a compliment. I'll take this compliment. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed those movies. Thank you for the channel, and thank you for watching the channel. I appreciate that, Cherry.
And what's the show called, Jess?
A Walk in the Woods at Midnight on OmniDog's Vault, where Jenny and I review horror movies. And I couldn't do it yesterday because I had no internet. So next week we're reviewing Conjuring 2.
Ooh.
And then the following week Jenny really wants to see Evil Dead, the remake.
You were gonna hate that movie.
I know, but she really wants to see it.
I love it, but you're gonna absolutely hate that movie. You're gonna hate it. I'm a gore guy. I don't mind it, but you're gonna hate it.
Maybe I'll talk her out of it. Maybe we can start reading Haunting of Hill House instead.
You need to watch Haunting of Hill House, man. It's so good. The meaning of life is British humor at its best.
Monty Python.
Monty Python is.
That's. I'm sorry to hear that because I don't get British humor.
You don't get British humor?
Sorry for you.
Like
you don't like Holy Grail? Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
I mean, I don't find it like hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's take The Office for instance.
British or American?
Well, just in general.
Okay.
So, I love the American Office, and then I went to go watch the British version because I was like, this is from a British version of the show. Let me go check it out. And they did like similar jokes, and they just fell flat to me. I didn't get a chuckle out of it whatsoever. American version does the same jokes, and I'm laughing my ass off. I don't know if it's just the delivery or whatever, or the accents. Sometimes the accents kind of throw me off. I don't know. Just doesn't land for me.
Oh, that's fair.
Iman is recommending Green Room as a horror movie, Lou. Have you seen that?
That sounds really familiar, and it feels like I should have seen it already. I think it's about a woman locked up in like a basement or something with a child. I forgot what it is. I've heard it's good. I need to watch it.
She says it's one of the best recent horror movies.
Oh, I finally watched Old Boy a few weeks ago.
Oh, I need to see that. The Korean version?
Huh?
The Korean version.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
The original one.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. It's so good.
What did you watch now?
Shudder. It's on the Shudder streaming.
I probably need to start streaming that.
Oh, my God. It's so good, Jess. It's so good. Oh, my God. It has an ending that I just did not see coming, and my jaw dropped to the floor. You could hear the thud from the sound of my jaw hitting the floor.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's so good. It's such a great film. I loved Old Boy. Matt was not, because Matt Miranda's been telling me I need to watch it for like a year. He was not bullshitting. It's such a great movie. I loved it. I loved Old Boy so fucking much, man. It was so good. You still haven't seen Parasite, right?
No.
Gio saw it. Gio said he loved it.
Yeah, I bet I'm going to like it too. Joe Chip is chiming in. The green room is good, that I'll like it. And same with Taylor Brown. Patrick Stewart is the villain.
Oh, I've heard that's good. That's with Anton Yelchin. That was his last film.
Scotty?
Yeah, that was his last film.
Not Scotty, Chekhov.
Chekhov. Yes. That was his last film before he died. Yeah, I heard that's really good.
Oh, maybe we can watch that instead of Evil Dead.
Is that the guy who died because he was working on this car and I ran him over?
Yeah. It was a freak accident. The poor guy. It was a freak accident.
Good actor. Prime.
But nothing can prepare you for the ending of Old Boy. I stood in silence for the last 10 minutes of that film going, what the fuck did I just watch? Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. You need to watch Old Boy, man.
And the tightwad OmniDog says, "In Green Room is free on Netflix, so I will allow it." Like control over that woman. Ha!
That's a power mustache, Jess.
that was me walking down the aisle. That's where we pulled that. Oh, I need to see Behind the Mask. I just read about that. Oh, that's the one Omar keeps talking about. I need to see that.
What's that about?
That's a place where all the villains, like Freddy and Jason, they're actually in the world.
What?
Yeah, they're actually in this world, and you have to. I don't know. I'll have to pull up the description again, but it was such a great description that I want to get. I want to watch Behind the Mask.
You keep saying that, and it makes me think of the song by Dokken. No, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper did The Man Behind the Mask. Yes, that was Cooper.
Yes, Chat OmniDog is ETL.
Yes, Josh Brolin was in the remake of Old Boy, and it was terrible. At least that's what everybody's told me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it. I'd want to see the original.
Watch the original, man.
And where'd you see that?
It's on Shudder.
Freaking Shudder!
Shudder's a good service, man. They've got a lot of good horror stuff on there.
How much is it?
Shudder's like $6 a month.
Probably, since I'm a horror fan, I probably should get it.
They've got a lot of good stuff on there. They've got like all the Elm Street films. They've got an Old Boy on there. They've got a lot of like indie stuff, a lot of Korean stuff. They have Mandy, which I really dug Mandy, Nicolas Cage's film from last year.
Oh, yeah. I need to see that.
No, you don't. Mandy is weird.
Oh, I thought you liked it.
Oh, I loved it. But Mandy is weird. I don't think you'll like it.
Wait a second. Wait. Jess, have you not seen Dumb and Dumber?
I am not.
Oh my God. It's good, but it's not like Waiting good or Sex Drive good, but it's still excellent film.
Yeah, that's when Taylor keeps jamming me up on is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, but you should go watch Waiting and Sex Drive. Waiting. The one about the guys working in restaurants.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've seen both Kentucky Fried Movie and Strange Brew. I've seen Kentucky Fried Movie 100 times, and Strange Brew is great. Strange Brew has the hosers in them. Good day, eh? Bob and Doug McKenzie. We've moved into movie talk, which is fine as long as we've still got people.
Just so you know, just Waiting is on Hulu.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I've waited my shared tables, so I'm ready to watch that.
If you've worked in retail,
oh man,
if you've worked at a restaurant, it's pretty close to that.
It's exactly like it. There's this one part, not a spoiler or anything, but there's one part where I think it's Ryan Reynolds' character goes up to one of the other waiters and goes, "Did you see the boobs on table 5?" That's 100% what it was like working in a restaurant.
Sure. Yeah. I worked at a Cracker Barrel for about a year, and yeah, that's pretty dead on.
Yeah, if there was a hot chick at a table, like I would always be there refilling drinks or refilling chips or whatever.
God, I hate
Okay,
it.
Lou, where can they find you?
Not at Cracker Barrel, thank God. God, I hated that job. You could find me at Comics Guide 101 on Facebook and Twitter.
Damn it, Gabe, where can they find you?
Maybe I'll go to Cracker Barrel. I'm hungry. But you can actually find me Instagram, Gabe Loves 90s Comics, and on the Facebook group.
And you can find us here again tomorrow night on Monday with Hall's Previews and Reads.
Manga Monday.
No, it's not. You can find...
Don't say that, because you're gonna get down. You're gonna give us more downvotes already. People are so pissy with that manga stuff now.
You can find me, OmniDog, on OmniDog's Vault on YouTube and OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram, where I just posted 3. I've been posting a lot recently. I posted stuff yesterday. I posted stuff today, including the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack that I got.
From the video game?
What's that?
The video game?
Yeah.
Wow.
The soundtrack came out in a box set, and it's kicks butt. It's so fun.
Did you play the game?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I thought it'd be extra funny if you never played the game and you just got the soundtrack.
I know that would be weird. I wouldn't care. Yeah, no, it took me 5 hours to beat the witch at the end of the game.
Never played it.
Oh my gosh, I love that game. My daughter was in 3rd grade and would just sit there in awe as we watched. As she would watch as in awe as I played. She was like a living cartoon to her.
So I looked ahead of time into the future, and tomorrow's previews is going to be pretty okay.
Okay.
Just saying, there's a couple good things on there for everybody that wants superhero stuff.
Good. I know one Omni I'm looking forward to.
Yep, and there's an epic collection I'm definitely going to grab.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's a good week.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to everybody that watches. Please give us a like. Please subscribe. Feel free to leave comments. We usually respond to comments. And don't bother trying to friend Gabe or Lou. They won't friend you back on Facebook.
That's very true. Taylor, I made an exception. I did add Taylor Brown a few weeks ago.
Oh.
I made an exception because I like him.
Amazing.
I like him. Usually I just leave you in limbo.
So on behalf of all the OmniBros and the OmniBros Live channel, peace and love, peace and love. Thank you for watching. We love all of you, and we love IST, and we love ourselves. So thank you very much.
Rest in